Hey, this is Brook, Hoover. I'm a guitar teacher in Cedar Rapids. I play in a few bands. And I've been buying and selling guitars and amps and pedals for about 50 years. I really get into Fender guitars. I dig Gibson guitars, but I like other things too. Marshall amps, Vox amps. That's my comfort zone, but I'm interested in like Hofner basses and Framus basses and Rickenbackers and Gretches and Dan Electros. So, still Fender amps are number one for me. So, I worked in a few music stores and what else? Oh, yeah. During the pandemic, it was really, I was buying and selling and handling like estates of musicians or people that bought like way too many pedals, amps, guitars, and then they would say, "Man, can you take these and sell them for me?" It was amazing. I was selling maybe 2 or 3 guitars a week, box loads of pedals, many amps. I was trying to keep track. It was getting kind of silly, and anyway, it was pretty enjoyable. People were pretty cool about it for the most part, and I still trying to slow down, stop buying things. I don't really need anything, but when I'm dealing with people, I want it to be fun, and I want the buyer to be happy and the seller to be happy, no matter if I'm the buyer or seller. I want it to be a pleasant thing where everybody feels good. And sometimes if I have something listed for sale and I know, let's say I've got $90 into it and I had to, get it repaired and do a lot of, maybe transporting and hauling it around and storing it and testing it. And, maybe I'd like to sell it for 100. Yeah, I'm going to make $10. So I'm going to price it at 10 and somebody comes at me wanting to buy it for $40. I'm like, well, honestly, sir, that hurts my feelings. I might be a little offended at that low ball offer. I try to price things where I might make a little bit sometimes. Sometimes I lose money. Sometimes I'll think something's really valuable and I'll put, I might pay, like for instance, this analog delay. Your emotions can get involved. Since I'm trying to play in a Stones cover band, this is kind of like what Keith Richards used. And I bought this. I paid, I don't know, $300 for it. And turns out it really didn't sound great. I think it had a power cable. And that was kind of failing. I said, man, I took it to my electronics repair guy. I said, can you make it an AC or, external power supply so I can just plug it into my pedal board? And it came back and he did a good job, but it just doesn't really, it's very heavy. I don't really need it, so I was trying to sell it for, maybe I've got $300 or $400 into it, so I'm ready to take $150 for it. And so sometimes I lose money. That's my fault. No biggie, but so, yeah, I had a guy wanting to look at one of my Princeton reverbs I have for sale, and he was pretty excited about it. And he came this morning, and I had it all ready to show him. And the thing is, I have taken it to an expert amp repair guy. I have all the parts that he replaced: the filter caps, the power cable, some other capacitors, which I don't really even know what they are, but I trust my guy. He's incredible. So, it was kind of a hassle. Take it over there, drop it off, pick it up, pay for it, and then I had to replace a speaker, so of course I got to haul it over to my speaker guy. We changed speakers, haul it back. So, testing it, storing it, and everything. So I've got it priced at where I really need to be. And so this guy came and tested it, and he really sounded great. The amp sounded great. The guitar sounded great. And he was like, "This is amazing." He was really having a good time. We spent quite a good amount of time testing it, and we were really having fun. And then he came out, kind of lowballing me. I'm just like, oh. And it's just, I get it that that's kind of some people's sport, that getting the lowest price or beating somebody down on the prices, and they come out, beating, whatever, come out, they think they're going to flash some cash in front of people's face. So they're going to go, oh, that doesn't really work with me. I'm just saying that I'm just like, dude, these go up in price. They don't make these anymore. This is a hand-wired, made in USA, perfectly maintained. I jumped through all these hoops to get it to perfect condition. It is one of the cleanest ones I've ever seen. And, I think it's kind of a respect thing. So anyway, no deal there. And so I relisted it for $200 more. Ha ha ha. So that's kind of how I do it. Don't waste my time or insult me. It's fine. But however, from my side as a buyer, I will play the game a little bit. I might, let's say there's a pedal for $100. And I want to. It says or offer, and I write, would you consider, 85? I don't. And if they decline, I'm like, well, thank you for thinking about it. Try to be really polite. Try to be a little overly polite, maybe. Try a little sweet talk. That might get you the deal with some people. With me, if you tell me why you want to give me much less, I'll be a little more sympathetic. But if you just kind of try this power negotiation thing of just, hey man, look at the cash, I'm like, sorry man, that don't really work. You gotta, again, it's gotta be friendly. It's gotta be, I want everybody to win, so, or even some of these books, I buy a lot of books and give them to students. Let's say it's listed at $8 or best offer. I'll write, could you sell it for $6.50 or something? Just not. I could maybe get it for cheaper, but that's not really fair. If it's free shipping, yeah, you kind of got to be a little bit fair if you want to. Anyway, that's how I do it. But what do you think? When you negotiate or purchase, is price number one? Or is the experience important? Or building a relationship? Those things are more important to me. The relationship, the good vibe, like, hey, maybe we can do this again if we can reciprocate or have another transaction in the future, or maybe be friends, So that's how I look at it. But what do you think? Is price all that is? Is money the number one, or is it more of a feeling? Or if you're that, if your budget is that tight, explain that. Just like, man, I really want it, but I'm having major financial problems. I suspect that is not the case as far as, I really want to buy your deluxe reverb, but, I think you probably do have the money and you could spend it. You like playing the game of, if you can't negotiate or beat somebody down, you're not happy. Some people. That's what I suspect. But what do you think about negotiating with guitars, amps, even cars? With cars, maybe I'm a sucker. Maybe I pay too much. But if somebody's asking, I bought a nylon string guitar, which I kind of overpaid for a little bit. It was $350. I think I offered $3. We settled on $325. I still think I overpaid a little bit, but I just want to get in there and get out. I don't want to spend eat up the person's morning standing there hemming and hawing about it. I just get in there and say, yep, looks pretty good. Give it a quick look. I guess I could have looked at it longer, but I just bought it and got out of the guy's face. I try to be respectful with people's time. Anyway, it's fun. I still like it. I'm glad all that slowed down massively after COVID. Kind of the market for guitars and amps sort of changed. It was a seller's market. It was people were buying like crazy. It was wild. And, it really took a lot of time. But I enjoyed it. But I'm kind of glad those days are over for now. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't need to buy anything. But I am interested in selling a few of my things just to kind of make space and realize I don't need, 5 deluxe reverbs or something or 6 champs. I kind of want to hang on to my champs. But Princeton's, I'm thinning out a few Princetons. I've sold a lot of silver face Princetons. Deluxes are pretty valuable to me. I like deluxes or champs for gigging, occasionally super reverbs. I'll sell a super reverb and then I'll go, wow, I really need a super reverb. I'll be looking for them. So, it's sort of a hobby, a little bit of obsession. But man, that Princeton reverb sounds great. I do have it listed locally. And aftermarket speaker, perfect. Servicing, perfect. Reliability, unbeatable, really. If you were, let's say you're going to look for one, you want to pay like, say, $1,000 or $1,200 for one. Like, okay, go ahead. Then you're going to have to put $200 or $300 into it. All right, that's say like 11, 12, 13. Then you need a speaker. There's 14 plus I'll allow running around. If you can get one that cheap. Kind of hard to find them that cheap for a silver face Princeton reverb. But they're out there. But I find maybe one every 2 or 3 years. So if you can wait 2 or 3 years and then you want to, rebuild it, save yourself $400 or $500. That's cool. But, do that. But don't, make sure you're respectful if somebody's already done all that restoration for you. Be respectful of that. All right, that's it. Main thing is you practice and know your notes and chords and play in time and feel the beat. But the tools are fun too. So I enjoy everything about it. All right, this is old Brookie saying, let me know what you think. And thanks a bunch.